Honda Aero 50. This Japanese scooter is retro, tiny, zippy, and sexy. Okay, for real. I've always loved cars and they're exciting in their own way, but I have to admit, 30 miles per hour has never felt this thrilling. They say it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow, and this is sort of the extreme of that. It tops out at about 40 miles per hour, but you gotta realize, hitting that really feels like you're pushing the limit with the wind blasting, the engine screaming, and the tiny 10-inch wheels ripping overtime. Now okay, I'll be honest though, if you asked me a few years ago what I thought about scooters, I would have said they were dorky little mopeds for crackheads and people who aren't cool enough for actual motorcycles. And though I still stand by the crackhead part, I'll admit, I've matured and I now understand the acquired taste that is a little scooter. Or maybe I've just sniffed too many exhaust fumes, but there really is something about this little unsuspecting bike that I just love. It's small, but it's still substantial enough to not look and feel like a cheap toy. I'll admit, at first glance you may not find anything special, it's definitely not flashy, but after sitting with it in person, you really admire the subtle charm. It's angular and boxy, but the lines and edges are rounded off just enough to look sleek instead of clunky. It's a very clean and defined shape that makes it stand out compared to some newer scooters that are just incoherent design vomit. And not to be mistaken for the much more common and same era Honda Spree, the Aero is bigger, faster, and in my opinion, just cooler all around. Peeling away the covers, we have this comically tiny 50cc two-stroke engine. For reference, this is smaller than most lawnmowers, let alone motorcycles. Like, this is literally the real-life version of Mario Kart's 50cc class, aka the slowest mode designed for babies. But there is a reason why these weed whacker motors are such a popular size, cause what they lack in raw power, they make up for in legal leeway. In most states and places, scooters under 50cc classify as mopeds and thus do not require a motorcycle license, so you can freely ride them with just an ordinary driver's license. I think it was written in the Constitution or something. Plus, these scooters are automatic and have handbrakes like a bicycle, so there's barely any learning curve, just twist and go. Literally easier than a bicycle since you don't have to pedal. I do own other motorcycles too, but this is especially nice to have because I can let any friends use it to ride along with me. But personally, as someone who doesn't feel the need to compensate for anything, I couldn't care less if any vehicle had a 50cc or 5000cc engine. Because what it really boils down to is if it's fun to drive. Yeah, it's sick. See, zipping around on an 80s Honda scooter makes you feel like the guy from Akira, even if you look like Toad from Mario Kart. Going full throttle and barely keeping up with traffic while listening to this two-stroke scream at 9,000 RPM is so exhilarating. It sounds like a swarm of wasps and triggers some sort of subconscious primal adrenaline. And okay, as someone who loves manual cars, I'm shockingly fine with this being automatic. The road feel and open air coupled with the act of physically leaning your body in for turns is enough to keep you engaged. Plus, for this low of speed, there is something just fun about the simplicity of it all. It's something cars and even larger motorcycles can't quite match. At just over 120 pounds, not only can you pretty much lift the thing, but you can throw it around all over the street like it's nothing. You have so much control, it makes any road feel like a racetrack despite staying well within the speed limit. Especially living downtown, it's just so easy to hop on, scoot wherever, and park up front basically anywhere for free. And it's a Honda, so unless it's been absolutely trashed to hell, you know it's gonna start up every time. Add in the fact you get 60 to 70 miles per gallon, and there's no reason not to take it on any errand. It literally pays itself off. Oh, you need space for your junk and don't own a backpack? Bam, compartment. Bam, glove box. Bam, floorboard. Bam, milk crate. Hell, you don't even need the crate. Look at that, it's beautiful. I got a 12-pack of beer just ready to go. Like, forget spoilers. The downforce on this thing is insane. Like, I'm gonna be popping wheelies all the way home. Though I was initially prejudiced to scooters, after 1 year of ownership, I ride this thing more than my car, even through the Washington winter. Just gotta bundle up. The Honda Aero is proof to me that something doesn't have to be cool to be fun, cause really few people will see this on the road and think anything of it. Meanwhile, I'm over here grinning ear to ear as I rip past them, assuming they're going under 30. It's just a Honda scooter, nothing more, nothing less. But this scooter went from something I would have been embarrassed to ride to quite literally one of the best purchases I've ever made. These little bikes aren't for everyone, but if you haven't at least ever tried one, you're seriously missing out. Thanks for watching. I'm trying a bunch of new things for this and upcoming videos and having fun just trying to find ways to expand my style. I especially like the Akira animation I did and the low poly 3D as well, but more subtly the taillight trail effect is really cool too, and I also put more effort into arranging the music to flow with the video. Obviously, I've been gone for a while and you're probably wondering why. Ultimately, it just comes down to me being in between jobs and then starting working full time. For work, I actually edit video for a small analytics company now though. So on the plus, I get a lot of time to practice motion graphics and animations, but the downside is it's hard to find time to work on my own YouTube videos, especially when I make little to no money doing them and how much they actually cost to make. I do really like my job, but not a day goes by without me thinking about my own creative work, so I hope to get back into a somewhat regular schedule. I'd do this all day, every day if I could, but unfortunately that is not the case. Right now, I have a few other videos filmed and in editing now, so look forward to those next. Thanks again.